Have you finished this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So this is the one method of if the oxides are present, if any ore is present in the form of oxide, the method of extraction is this. The main method, main steps followed. That is a method of reduction. So that reduction is done by auto reduction. That means heating or combining with its own ore. It will get the oxide is will be reduced. If second method is by using reducing agents, just like commonly used reducing agent is the coke powder, that is a carbon powder is used. That is generally done for ores of zinc. It is the next method is the displacement reaction with higher reactive elements has been used. That is a most commonly aluminium powder is used as a displacing reagent. Then for higher reactive metals, any reducing agents cannot work out, so they can be reduced only by one method, that is electrolytic reduction method. So this is about the oxides. Now what if the ores are present? Most commonly found ores are the sulfides and carbonates. But from sulfides, taking out sulfur will not be easy. Or from carbonates, taking out carbon dioxide will not be easy. So therefore, the reduction of sulfur or reducing, separating carbon from the ore will not be easier. So therefore, the intermediate step is followed. That is, these sulfides and carbonates are first converted into oxides. And that conversion is done by the process. It is actually the strong heating. In presence or in absence of oxygen, the ores has been heated strongly. So those methods are called as roasting and calcination. So next step, if the ore is found in the form of sulfide ore or carbonate ore, so those are first converted into oxides. Sulfides or carbonates are first converted into oxides. And these oxides are further reduced by the earlier mentioned all the processes just now I mentioned. All those methods are used after getting the oxides. Even carbonates are also converts into oxides, and then further that oxide is reduced to get a pure metal. We will get a pure metal. Now the sulfide to oxide conversion is done by the process called as roasting. And carbonates to oxide conversion, that process is called as calcination. So roasting and calcination, what is the difference between them? What are these processes actually? So roasting means just like roast, when we roast anything, food items can be roasted. Dry roasting we call it as. That means what? We are heating the substance. We are strong heating the substance. The food items is peanuts has been roasted. Dry fruits are roasted. Roasted dry fruits we get it. So what we are doing? We are keeping in a pan and we are heating it strongly. They have been heated strongly. So that is the roasting. And here also the roasting is the same meaning. Only thing is in presence of excess of oxygen we are roasting, and here the chemical process takes place. So roasting means heating strongly, the process of strong heating of ore in presence of excess of oxygen, in presence of excess air, that is oxygen. So in abundance of oxygen, it needs more amount of oxygen. This process is called as roasting process. So it is done for sulfide ores. So any sulfide compound, or it is in the form of sulfide. So that sulfide combines with oxygen. Excess air we have passed, that means we have oxygen is present, and in that we are heating it. So it will form metal oxide. Finally, it gets converted. So this oxygen combines with the metal. This is a metal sulfide. So some amount of oxygen will combine with metal to form metal oxide, and some amount of oxygen will combine with sulfur. Sulfide means what? Sulfur. So, and it will form SO2. So sulfur dioxide gas is formed and it is separated out. So this way, from metal sulfide, by heating strongly in presence of oxygen, we will get metal oxide. Is it clear what roasting means?
Yes, ma'am.
And calcination means also the same process, but only difference is it will not need oxygen. The process of strong heating a metal ore in absence of oxygen. In absence of air, that is oxygen, actually oxygen. It is done for carbonate ores. It is mostly used for carbonate ores because carbonate means CO3. Already oxygen is present in the ore itself. So oxygen is not needed. In a metal sulfide, oxygen is not present. So that's the reason we are supplying oxygen to it. In carbonate, already oxygen is available. So no need of extra oxygen. Addition of extra oxygen is not needed here. So metal carbonates are heated strongly. Metal carbonates without oxygen, it has been heated. We will get metal oxygen, metal oxide actually, and carbon dioxide is come out. So metal carbonate, whenever heated strongly, it gets converted into metal oxide and the carbon dioxide is released. Carbonate because it has already CO3 is present. So some amount of oxygen of this one atom of oxygen combines with metal and remaining to remain with carbon separated and moves out of the container. So from that we will left out with the metal oxide only. So this way metal carbonates are converted to metal oxides by the process of calcination, and by the process of roasting sulfide ores used for sulfide ores. Is it clear?
Ma'am,
Yes.
absence of air in the sense only absence of oxygen or in like a vacuum?
Other things is not needed. Means it's oxygen is not needed. That's it.
Okay.
No need to provide oxygen. Here in the roasting case, we have to provide air through it. So that means we have to keep passing air in that container where that heating is going on. And another one is a closed container we are doing. Vacuum is not needed, but only we are not providing any extra air for that heating. It's clear?
Ma'am.
Okay. So here 3-point difference I have already given you. 1 point is the definition itself. Second point of roasting and calcination differences. Roasting is used for sulfide ore and calcination is used for carbonate ores. And third point is the definition, that's reaction you can write, or you can write in the roasting process, sulfide ore is get converted into oxides and sulfur dioxide gas is released. And in calcination, carbon dioxide gas is released along with metal oxide formation, along with formation of metal oxide. So these are the 3 points of difference between roasting and calcination. They will ask you differentiate between calcination and roasting.
We can write that in roasting we need to pass oxygen and in the other one we don't.
We don't need to pass oxygen, that also. So write down these points then.
Ma'am, could you please scroll down? Thank you, ma'am.
Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Thus, by the process of roasting and calcination, we will convert that sulfide and carbonate ores to oxides, and that oxide is further, that means the second step to convert that oxide further back to metal, that means reduce that metal oxide. The reduction of the metal oxide is the second step. So first step is the roasting or calcination, and the second step is reduction again. Okay, so one by one we have to check out some elements extraction processes. So that is, first is the lower reactive metal. Three categorized, they have been categorized into three ways. The reactive, according to reactivity series, the metals has been divided into three categories. That is, first one is lower reactive elements. In lower reactive elements, copper, gold, platinum, silver, these are mostly found in their native state. So therefore, any chemical reaction is not needed to purify them. So they are only the earthen impurities, that is enrichment of ore, what we have learned last class. So that method is enough to remove those impurities. Otherwise, the metal will be found in their original state only, not in a compound form, because those are noble metals. They do not undergo any chemical reaction in air, in atmosphere. So we will, in the earth crust, we will get those elements as it is. Only thing, we have to remove the impurities, earthen impurities, which has been attached to them, not reacted with them. Then the other ones, that is copper and so mercury. We have to see the extraction of copper and mercury in this case. One is copper, another one is mercury. So mercury, first one we will see mercury's extraction. Ore of a mercury is, common name of that ore of mercury is cinnabar. There are the ores have some common names. So it is called as cinnabar. Chemical name is mercuric sulfide, HGS. So it is an sulfide ore. So it is HGS is the formula of cinnabar, mercuric sulfide. It is a sulfide ore. So for the sulfide ore, what is the first process we have to do? First step,
Roasting.
roasting process we have to do. So first, ore is heated strongly in presence of oxygen, in presence of excess oxygen, that is HGS, combines with oxygen and form HGO plus SO2. So this SO2 gas released out, leaving behind mercuric oxide. So 2HGO, 2HGO, 2SO2, this is 3O2. Balanced one, it is heat. And then now we got the oxide. Oxide we got. Now oxides is reduction. Then the second step is reduction of this oxide. So this is done by strong heating. That's it. So bond is not so strongly binded. So oxygen and mercury are not strongly binded. So therefore by strong heating they decompose. HEO decomposes. So it will form HGO by heating. It gets converted into Hg and oxygen is separated. Oxygen gas is given out. So this way we will get the mercury, which is a pure mercury, about 80 to 90% pure. 10% purity we will not get by only extraction process. We have to do the further refining process for this. The refining has been done after this. So the extraction process, we will get 80 to 90 or 95% pure metals by this processes. Pure 100% pure metal we cannot get by extraction process. There are still some impurities will be left out. So that's the reason we follow the third step, that is a refining process. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a
Yes, ma'am.
doubt.
Yeah.
Ma'am, like cinnabar, will it be very hard or brittle in the ore form?
It's hard.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, the reduction process is by auto reduction, right?
The auto reduction, that is directly heating it. This reduction is only by simple heating because the bond will not be so strong.
Ma'am,
Yes, Santosh?
ma'am, like in gold we have 24 karat and 22 karat, right?
Yeah.
Ma'am, it depends on the extraction or like the impurities.
No, it is depends on the impurities. 24 karat gold means 100% pure gold. So no any other impurities are present in that. We are adding impurity into it to make it harder.
Okay, ma'am.
So pure gold, which we obtain, which we get it. So that is a very soft metal. We can easily crush. We can easily with our hand also we can bend it. So that is it will not be so much harder. So that is 100 karat gold. Generally that will not be used to make coins or to make jewelry. We don't use that gold. It has to be made harder so that is it can retain its shape. Whatever the shape or whatever the carving has been done over the gold, it should retain. So therefore we make it hard by adding alloying it with the gold or silver, sorry, copper or silver. So that is impure gold, and that we make it. It is not found in nature.
Okay, ma'am.
We alloy
Thank you.
it with, we will this one melt it. After heating strongly we will melt it, and then it is mixed with some amount of copper or some amount of gold in it. Sorry, why gold? So copper and silver.
Ma'am, zinc.
Silver, no zinc.
Okay,
Iron,
ma'am.
copper, iron, copper, or silver is used.
Okay, ma'am.
Generally copper or
Thank you.
silver. Copper or silver because those are also least reactive.
Okay, ma'am.
These are the two-step extraction of mercury. Asked for 2 marks along with reaction, balanced reactions. Written down?
1 minute.
How is refining done?
Electrolysis. We have to learn this one refining also. After extraction, I will explain the refining process.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, so in the exam, if there's extraction, should we write the reduction process also at the end after it? I mean, the
Refining
refining
process.
process after
No,
reduction.
not needed. If it is asked, then only you are writing. Otherwise, no.
Okay.
The next element, the lower reactive element, is a copper. Copper, ore of a copper is copper sulfide, Cu2S. Its name is copper glance. It is also a sulfide ore. The same process has to be followed. First is roasting, heated strongly in presence of excess oxygen. In presence of excess oxygen. So that is Cu2S plus oxygen heating. You have to mention these all conditions. Always keep, every time I'm keep on telling you, if you miss any of the conditions, they will not give you any marks for that reaction. Though you are right everything. But if the condition is not mentioned properly, that means that this under this condition only this reaction has taken place. If you don't write this condition, that means that reaction won't take place. So you have to mention these conditions. So it will form Cu2O, copper oxide, plus sulfur dioxide, where sulfur dioxide moves out, and this oxide now undergoes reduction process. And this reduction takes place. It is heated strongly along with ore itself. That is the auto reduction. Heating along with ore. So Cu2O combines with Cu2S. 2. So here it is 2, 3, 2. This is also 2. Cu2S, the Cu oxide, copper oxide combines with copper sulfide again back with the ore, and then it will form copper, and sulfur dioxide again moves out. No, this is 2. This is only this one. So 6Cu plus SO2. So this SO2 moves out, leaving behind copper, which is about 90% pure copper. Here also heat. Here also heat. Yes.
Ma'am, if Cu2 again combines with Cu2S, then why is the reduction not done from first?
So oxygen, from where you will get the oxide?
But then if reduction, I mean then
Then
only Cu2.
after forming oxygen, only that oxide is combining again with the ore, heating with the ore.
And then sulfur will remain, no?
Sulfur dioxide moves out.
Oh, okay.
It's keep on moving out. No, keep on moving out.
Okay.
So here any other material is not needed. For reducing, other material is not needed. The same ore has been combining with that oxygen, and both of them are releasing copper. So some amount of here again, this is the second step for the first also. So it is once the oxide is formed, further that reaction is keep on happening. So there is no excess addition of oxygen is not needed.
Okay, ma'am. Understood. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, instead of writing heat, can we use a delta symbol?
Yeah, delta symbol you can write, but again, at this time you will write. Sometimes some teachers will tell, no, this delta symbol will not work out. You have to write heat only. So therefore, I keep on writing heat. I have changed my habit because of the teachers. I also have the habit of writing delta always, but the teachers sometimes won't consider. Some of the teachers won't consider triangle. because it is not mentioned in NCERT. That is the reason they tell. Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
These balanced reactions, you have to remember. This year they have asked this question for 5 marks. But one different 5 reactions they have asked for 5 marks. One second, I will check that question. One second. Excuse me. Yeah, there is a 3-mark question. No, it's not that question. Different question. The last was for 5 marks reaction. Yeah, there's a 5-mark question. One is write balanced equation to explain what happens when mercuric oxide is heated. That is earlier, mercuric oxide is heated. That is 2HgO gives out 2Hg plus O2. Second reaction, mixture of cuprous oxide and cuprous sulfide is heated. This is cuprous oxide and cuprous sulfide is heated. This is cuprous oxide and cuprous sulfide is heated. What will happen? You have to write, explain with example, with equation. Aluminium is reacted with manganese dioxide. Ferric oxide is reduced with aluminium. Zinc carbonate undergoes calcination. So these are the 5 reactions asked for 5 marks. And that or question for that question is, by the transfer of electrons, Illustrate the formation of bonds in magnesium chloride and identify the ions present in these compounds. This is the one question. Second question, ionic compounds are solids, give reason. And the third in the same, for 5 marks, these are combination questions. With the help of label diagram, show the experimental setup of action of steam on a metal. Action of steam on a metal. That activity you have to explain. That is red hot iron wool. Of a iron wool, we have to take it and you have to heat it very strongly so that it will turn red, and then through that oxygen has to be steam has to be passed so that iron oxide is formed along with the hydrogen gas is produced. So that activity you have to explain. So all the activities in given textbook are very important. Only in textbook, NCERT textbook, whatever the activities they have mentioned, all those activities are important. It's clear? Now, these are the lower reactive metals, only these two we have to learn. In the middle reactive elements. So here we have to see zinc and iron. Zinc is found in two ores, in the form of two ores. One is zinc sulfide, which is called as zinc blende. And the second one is zinc carbonate, that is calamine. Common name is calamine. So in this form, these two forms, zinc is present. So now one by one, we have to check out for both of them. So first one we will see with zinc sulfide, that is zinc blende. It is a sulfide ore, so it undergoes roasting first. So zinc sulfide is heated strongly in presence of oxygen. Heated strongly in presence of oxygen. So zinc sulfide combines with oxygen, forms zinc oxide plus sulfur dioxide. Now oxide we got. Now this oxide is reduced by using reducing agents. Now auto reduction won't work out, reducing agent is needed. Now the second step is reduction. Reduced by reacting with coke powder. Reaction with coke powder, that is carbon. So zinc oxide combines with carbon, it will form zinc plus carbon monoxide, which is a gas evolves out, leaving behind zinc in the container. So this reaction you have studied in the first chapter under redox reactions. It's clear?
Yes.
Remember that reaction? The same thing for calamine, zinc carbonate. Now this is carbonate ore. So what should be done?
Calcination.
Calcination is done. It is calcinated. That means heating strongly in absence of oxygen. That means it don't need oxygen. So zinc carbonate heated strongly without oxygen. So it will form zinc oxide and carbon dioxide given out. You have seen calcium carbonate also. Decomposition reaction. Calcium carbonate heated strongly gives out calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Exactly same reaction. When zinc carbonate heated strongly, it produces zinc oxide and carbon dioxide released. Now the process of reduction is the same. So both of them has been reduced with the same method, reduced by heating with coke powder. Reduced by using reducing agent. That is zinc oxide combines with carbon, gives out zinc plus carbon monoxide. So we will get the zinc, which is 80 to 90% pure zinc. We will get it by this process. Is this clear for both of them?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
why don't we use aluminium powder because that's also for low reactive metal, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is used, but carbon is enough. Carbon is cheaper as compared to aluminum powder. So we
Okay,
have to see the economy also in this.
okay, ma'am. Understood.
I'm going to scroll down.
Yeah.
I'm going to scroll down.
Ma'am, could you scroll up? I missed last line.
Cinnabar name you have to remember. All others, if you don't remember, then also okay. Cinnabar word is used in textbook, so you need to remember that. And many times question in board asked according to Cinnabar, given the name as Cinnabar. completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The next is iron ore. Iron ore hematite. It is in the form of Fe2O3. It is exactly the oxygen only. Oxide ore. So iron ore, Fe, it is found in the form of oxide, Fe2O3. It is called as hematite. So it has been heated. So it is oxide itself. So we have to reduce it. And this is reduced in presence of displacement reaction has been taken place. So Fe2O3 made to react with aluminium, and then displacement reaction takes place. Aluminium combines with oxygen now. It will form Al2O3 and iron is separated. Now this iron, this reaction is highly exothermic reaction. So here plus heat is always produced, also produced. So this reaction is so highly exothermic such that here in a iron which is obtained, that is in the molten state. It is obtained in the molten state. Iron need actually more than 2000 degree, 1500, above 1500 exactly, I don't remember, but above 1500 or maybe 2000 degrees Celsius is the melting point. So that strong heating, the iron is needed to heat and convert into liquid state. But here directly by simple this process, the iron obtained is in the molten state. In the liquid form of iron we will obtain by this reaction. Hence, there is a practical application for this reaction. It is used in welding railway tracks. This reaction is directly used to join railway tracks, welding process of the railway tracks. Railway tracks are made up of iron. If there is any cracks, that can be filled by using this reaction. So therefore, this reaction is also called thermite reaction. Thermite. Not thermite, thermite reaction. Thermite
Ma'am,
process or thermite reaction.
for the reaction, I mean, the reaction takes place in normal temperature.
Somewhat heating is at normal temperature. Somewhat heating, the iron oxide has to be first, it is a strong ore, means it's a very solid hard ore. It has to be heated first and aluminium powder will be added to it. Aluminium oxide is formed and iron is obtained in the molten state. Okay, so iron obtained is a molten state. So directly the same process has to be done on the railway tracks so that iron oxide will be moved down and fills the crack between the railway tracks. So this practical application, you have to remember, this reaction is very, very, very important. Most of the time asked question. What is thermite reaction? And write its practical application. So thermite reaction is when the purification or extraction of iron from iron oxide ore, that is hematite ore. When aluminium is added to this ore, reaction takes place, which is highly exothermic reaction. At that temperature, the iron obtained, the pure iron will be obtained in the molten state. So hence this reaction is directly used to purify metals, sorry, to join railway tracks. Is it clear? And the same reaction takes place for manganese also. Manganese also will come under the middle reactive elements. Manganese also available in the form MnO2 or pyrolusite is the name of this ore. No need to remember. Pyrolucite. No, Lucite. No need to remember this, leave it. So MnO2 also extracted in by adding aluminium powder. Aluminium is taken in the form of powder. And here also aluminium oxide is formed by the displacement reaction. Aluminium is more reactive than manganese. So therefore we will get aluminium oxide and manganese, which is obtained also in the molten state. And here also in this reaction, heat is given out. And this manganese is also obtained in the molten state. It's clear?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, in the railway tracks, they use aluminium to get the iron in the molten.
Iron oxide, yeah, iron oxide and aluminium both are made to react over the track.
And so the iron again in normal temperature only it will solidify.
Solidifies, yeah. After that it will solidify and join the crack. I think some video is there. I've seen that video. Let me check. If I have, I will show you.
Ma'am, can you say the spelling of pyrol?
Pyro, Pyrolulusite. Pyro, Lu, site. Are you able to see?
Yes.
Ma'am,
This is animation. There's a cracks in railway track. They'll fix it. First heating at 900 degrees Celsius. Aluminium. This mixture is present in the container. Temperature increases to 35 degrees Celsius in 30 seconds duration. Molten iron settles down. So this solidifies. And then the remaining part they will cut out. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this clear? What happens? Thermite welding.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So instead of melting the iron to high temperature and then obtaining it in the liquid state and then filling the cracks, they will perform the reaction, the same reaction on the iron track itself. So that is molten iron immediately take the place between that crack and joins those cracks. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And this question is very, very important. Every time, any one of the paper you will get one time or multiple times this question will be asked.
Ma'am, will that's the process of how it
No,
reacts,
no, no,
right?
nothing. Only they will ask you this reaction and this one, a practical application, a name of this reaction. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is about the middle reactive element, then higher reactive elements. So here for middle reactive element, for zinc, we are using reducing agent, coke powder, and for aluminium and manganese, this is manganese, MnO2 is manganese dioxide. So for iron oxide and manganese dioxide reduction, we are using displacement reaction has been used. Okay. Then for higher reactive elements like sodium, potassium, calcium, aluminium. For this, any other reducing agent won't work. Carbon will not be worked. Here one more question is asked, why carbon cannot reduce higher oxides of higher reactive metals? Why carbon cannot reduce oxides of higher reactive metals? Because these metals are most reactive elements, sodium, potassium, calcium or aluminium. These are more reactive substances. So if they form the oxides, the bonding with the oxygen is so strong that is for carbon, it's not easy to take out oxygen from them. So carbon cannot reduce oxides of these metals. So therefore, to reduce them, normal reduction method or any reducing agent or any other different processes won't work. Only these can be reduced by electrolysis process. By the process of electrolysis, only these elements can be reduced and pure metal is obtained. So that metal is also 95%, 95 to 98% pure, but not complete 100% pure. So that is again purified by refining process. So sodium is obtained in the textbook. They have given example of sodium only. So sodium is obtained from this molten sodium chloride. Molten sodium chloride, we will obtain sodium.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you repeat the answer for it so I can write?
Yes, I will write it down here. Higher reactive metals. Sodium, potassium, calcium, aluminium. So carbon cannot reduce oxides of higher reactive metals. Because these metals are most reactive. These metals are highly reactive metals. Have greater affinity towards oxygen. Carbon cannot take out oxygen from them. So therefore, these oxides are reduced by electrolysis. So sodium is obtained from molten sodium chloride. Molten common salt. Here not aqueous common salt, it is a molten common salt. Sodium chloride is obtained. Pure sodium is obtained from molten sodium chloride. So in molten sodium chloride, when the current is passed, electric current is passed, it will decompose first to form sodium and chlorine ions. Now this is electrolytic container. So this molten sodium chloride is taken into the electrolytic container. It will take time. Better I will explain you tomorrow. Leave it. So it will take time because this and aluminium together I need to explain you.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, in the video that you showed that time, right, about the molten iron thing,
Yeah.
how much time would it take for filling the iron?
It will take
Ma'am, could you scroll up?
hardly 10-15 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No, actual process of thermite you want to see. Are you able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, it is actual Indian process. Indian process directly. They are fixing that container. Properly the shape has been fixed. So that is iron will remain in that same position. This is a container in which the reaction will take place. There is a hole so that it can move down. The powder they are mixing. So reaction has taken place. So highly exothermic reaction. So how much amount of heat is produced, you can see. Now it came down. The molten iron will move down. This is a molten iron, which is this one. How fast it is taken place, you have seen. Now they will remove it, it will solidifies, and then remaining part break down. Now it gets solidifies after some time when it cools down. Stop. That's it only. So now they will give the proper shape to it. Okay, it's clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you won't forget, I think so, this reaction. Why I'm showing? Because this is very, very, very important reaction. Every exam, they will ask you this reaction. And one more thing, this at the end, this heat is there. Don't forget to write that heat. Last year's teacher have cut full out of 2 marks. Teacher has cut 1.5 marks for that. Only for that not writing heat, students. Okay, so don't forget that. Fine, we will stop here.